Christmas may be over, but Neil Lennon wants one more present under the tree. He says hands off the Tottenham boss, Ange Postecoglou, and begs him not to take Matt O'Reilly in the January transfer window. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. And Matt O'Reilly, no doubt about it, will be a wanted man after his great start to the season. And one of those men looking at Matt O'Reilly is, of course, his former manager, the man that signed him to Celtic in the first place, the guy that started all this, Ange Postecoglou. He signed Matt O'Reilly for MK Dons back in January 2022 for 1.5 million. And looking back at that transfer now, what a transfer that was. I mean, not a lot of us knew who Matt O'Reilly was. 1.5 million seemed like a little bit of a gamble, to be honest. However, Ange Postecoglou obviously knows a good player when he sees one. He knew O'Reilly was a good player, and that £1.5 million is looking like a mega bargain now, considering that O'Reilly is being estimated at around 10, 20 times that. And Matt O'Reilly could go for 20, 25 million, and I don't think any of us would bat an eyelid. But maybe there'll be one man batting an eyelid, or maybe there'll be one man just desperate for him not to go, and that is Neil Lennon. He's come out and said he's a big fan of Matt O'Reilly. He knows that Matt O'Reilly is destined for bigger things, but he doesn't want those big things to happen yet. He wants Matt O'Reilly to at least stay until the summer, because he believes that is when Celtic can truly cash in on the Danish midfielder. This is what Neil Lennon told Ladbrokes Fan Zone. Quote, I think Ange will want to bring in some strength and depth in next month, whether that's a couple of loans or them spending more money. His recruitment has been brilliant up to this point. The players he's brought in have been great. Vicario, Van de Ven, James Maddison, they're top quality players who have all impressed. He missed a couple of them in that dip, there's no question about that, but I just want him to stay away from Matt O'Reilly for the time being, please, and thank you very much. End of quote. So Neil Lennon knows that Ange is interested, but he doesn't want Ange to come near Matt O'Reilly. He thinks there's other players Ange could go for right now and not take away Celtic's best player on current form. He also went on to praise Ange Postecoglou, saying, quote, the job Ange did at Celtic was great. The fans loved his style of play, the all-out attack, the rotations, and you can see that style being implemented at Tottenham as well. It's never dull, put it that way, and I think he's building something there to make Spurs real contenders for the top four on a regular basis. He's having a fabulous year. I'm delighted for him because he's a great guy. I always tune in to watch because you can't take your eyes off his team. Being the first Spurs boss in 10 years not to have Harry Kane available to him, that's a huge loss of goals he's had to account for, but I think he's recruited well. End of quote. And he has recruited well, and his next recruitment could be Matt O'Reilly. But Tottenham are not the only team linked with O'Reilly. West Ham also have had links to the midfielder, and of course Inter Milan, who's been a team that has been just on the O'Reilly radar now for over a year. So lots of clubs will want O'Reilly. He's playing well. The better he plays, the more clubs will be interested, the more clubs will have a serious look at signing him. And I think that he could definitely go for big money. Could it break the Kieran Tierney transfer? Possibly. Neil Lennon has warned, though, that Celtic need to keep him. They cannot let him go in January. They must keep him to the summer, because that is when they can maximise the amount of money they can get for the player. Neil Lennon went on to say, quote, the priority for the club is to keep hold of him, particularly in January. I'm sure there'll be a lot of offers coming in for him, but I think the club are in a position to stay strong in the January window. I do think that Brendan will want to trim the squad in other areas, but I'm sure O'Reilly will stay to the end of the season. At least that's what I'm hoping for anyway, but you can't stop the progress, so I would imagine selling him will be something that Celtic will look at in the summer. He's proven to himself at the highest level in the Champions League. He's been a player, he's been the best player in Scotland this season, so you're looking at 25 to 30 million for him at least. I think he's a top player, and I believe he could play at a very high level in the Premier League. You know, Celtic will get top dollar for him, I'm sure of that. End of quote. And he's right, Celtic do tend to maximise the money that they can get for players, considering they are in Scotland. I think anytime Celtic have produced good players, they do tend to get good money for these players. They get good value, so I expect that to happen again with O'Reilly. I'd be shocked if he goes for anything under 20 million, and I think he will possibly break the Kieran Tierney transfer. So it's going to be interesting. Will he go this window? I don't think so. I think Celtic need him. They're in a close fight with Rangers for the title. For me, I think O'Reilly, I agree with Lennon, I think O'Reilly will probably stay till the summer, and then I expect him to be off. I think, especially if he keeps the form up, if he has a second half of the season the way he started the first, then it's unlikely he'll be at Celtic next season. There'll be big clubs swimming around looking for O'Reilly. They'll smell blood in the water, and they will take him off of Celtic, because once they come in with a big bid, we know that Celtic ain't going to refuse it. 25, 30 million, Celtic will take that all day long, and they'll add it to the war chest that they ain't willing to spend. So yeah, there you go, guys. O'Reilly, could he be leaving Tottenham? Could he be leaving Celtic to Tottenham? Neil Lennon thinks so. He just doesn't want it to be this window. Let us know what you think down below. Matt O'Reilly, is he the best player in the Scottish Premiership right now? Possibly. Is he the most valuable player right now in terms of what you can generate for a transfer? I would say definitely. Let me know, guys, down below what you think. I'll catch you in the next one. Being Fog Football, thanks for watching, and peace.